Gaskin, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On August 27th, 2024, an officer was dispatched to a Five Below and spoke to the complaining witness, the store manager, who stated that while she was helping a customer, she witnessed the defendant enter the store and quickly place many items into his personal bag before walking past all points of sale without paying. She notified the on-site security officer who followed the defendant to a bus stop. Complainant stated the defendant has shoplifted before at that store in the past, and despite verbal trespass warnings, he continued to return. The officer stated that the complainant had observed the defendant board a Metro bus. The officer then flagged down the bus and was able to detain the defendant. The officer brought the defendant back to the scene. The defendant was positively ID'd by the complaining witness and the security guard. The officer searched the defendant's backpack and located the stolen merchandise.
Right. Mr. Gaskin, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. First off, I'm glad that you came. Thank you for coming. Good things happen when you come to court. Number two, they know you at this Five Below. Every single time you go back, they're going to watch you like a hawk because they know you, they watch you. Every time you go back to the store, as soon as you go there, every single eye in the sky is looking directly at you. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I will appoint your lawyer today. Keep coming back and good things will happen. But you have to understand, every time you go to that store, they're going to watch you in every single angle that they can. I'm now, as a condition of your bond, making it so you cannot go back to the store.
Yes, sir.
Do not pick up any new cases. If you need any resources, we can give it to you. All you have to do is ask, but don't pick up any new cases.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jermaine. Stephen, what did you say?
This is what's this guy, Your Honor, on page 16.
Is it Krasinski?
Sir.
Mr. Krasinski, you're charged with forgery of a financial instrument between $100 and $750. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 25th, 2022, the complaining witness stated that his vehicle had been stolen from a Home Depot parking lot, Harris County, Texas. A short time later, the officers recovered the stolen vehicle and the defendant was able to get the vehicle back, but his checks were missing. The officers found that the defendant had attempted to sign and forge the cash the checks, which were stolen from the vehicle in the amount of $190 and $125 dated 9/26/22.
The two checks.
Don't say anything. Did they catch him with the checks on him?
So
Okay. Did I maybe I zoned out. I don't know
the
what.
checks had been cashed at a bank.
Okay.
And I guess they were flagged as being
Sure.
fraudulent, and the defendant's signature was on the checks.
How do you know? Do you
The
have any
officer-
kind of visual evidence that he's at the bank, cashing the checks, negotiating the checks? How do you know it's him?
So it looks like the officer that was investigating was able to review surveillance footage from the bank and then
Okay.
compared that to a copy of the defendant's or photo from the defendant's Texas driver's license. And that's how they were able to identify him.
On video, they see him negotiating the checks, signing, giving it to tellers and taking it.
The officer stated in the DIMS that he was able to obtain a photo of the defendant that was taken at the time of the forgery and then use that to compare. He compared the photos from the driver's license.
Okay. What bank is this?
It says Barri Financial Group, BARRI.
Okay. Mr. Krasinski, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to pick up any new cases. not to have any contact with the complaining witness, and not to go back to this bank. Do you understand?
Okay.
Unless you have an open account in this bank. So what happened with the UUMV? Did they catch it? Was he involved allegedly with the UUMV? We know-
There's no allegation that he was involved with that, Judge. Obviously, there was a UUMB charge filed against this defendant.
Do
But
we have a co-defendant? Do you know?
there's no co-defendant listed, Judge.
So they didn't arrest anyone with regard to the UUMV, I guess.
It doesn't look like it, no, Judge.
Okay. What do you do for a living, sir?
I sell stuff on Marketplace, Amazon, stuff like that.
I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every person in Harris County. And if I have to put you in jail to protect my county, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. If you don't have anyone to pony up $5,000 to $10,000 to get you out, you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with. And I want you to understand, you better have a halo over your head. Do you understand, Mr. Krasinski?
Right.
All right. Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
Sure. Is there any way to pay restitution on this?
Let's not just. First things first, let me get you a lawyer and then you'll have you talk to the lawyer and then try to negotiate something with the state. But I don't want you to start saying stuff because, you know, anything you say, they're going to use it against you. So I need you to fill out an application for me, though. Do you mind giving me an application? Thanks. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Jermaine, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, though. All right, come on.
How you doing?
Come up.
No, this has very valid explanations that I think the court will want to hear in the situation. It's a very unusual situation.
What time does court start?
¿A qué hora empieza la corte?
Mr.
8:30.
What time did you get here?
Llego acá. I didn't have to come today.
Yo tenía que comunicarme con mi abogado después de las 4.
After the 4th, I was supposed to communicate with my lawyer.
I ordered you to come here
Yo le
today
ordené
because you
venir hoy.
a new case. You are on bond for an assault.
Cansado.
You now have picked up a new assault. You are now facing another year and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Defendant and the defendant dating relationship. On 11/27/24, officers were dispatched to an assault in progress in Harris County, Texas. Officer met with other officers who had already detained the defendant. The officer spoke to the complaining witness, who stated the defendant pulled her hair at the house and that she felt pain. She stated that they had been driving down Westheimer and the defendant attempted to take her purse that had a flash drive that had fraudulent scam material on it. Complaining witness said the defendant was trying to scam San Jose gas, oil, and the information was on the USB drive. Complainant stated that they started to fight and she scraped her hand on the purse and felt pain. Complaining witness also stated no threats were made and the suspect did not put his hands on her. Defendant stated they were arguing in the car and the complaining witness slapped him twice and scratched him. Defendant stated he felt pain. The witness stated she worked security and she saw the traffic was backed up, so she drove up and saw the complaining witness and defendant in a stopped car in the street. She said she saw the complainant and the defendant fighting. Complaining witness was trying to exit the vehicle and that's when defendant pulled her hair. Witness stated the complainant exited and ran across the street and called 911. Officers observed blood on passenger window where complaining witness was sitting. Officers also observed complaining witness to have injuries to both hands.
Your Honor, no, the one thing I just wanted to point out was more on the dates, in that apparently he thought that the new case was set for December 5th. That's on this document, it refers to December 5th, but down the bottom, it looks like then it was ordered that he appear at the court's next docket on Wednesday, December 4th, because the original case that we have been here for, the first case, his appearance was waived on that case. So he got confused and thought it was waived, and I think he was
Ordered
supposed
him to appear because of the new case that he picked up. So regardless whether he comes at 8:30, he comes at 9:30, I don't think I've ever taken someone in for coming in at 11:30, for coming in at 12. But I do have a problem when you pick up a new case.
Yes, sir. And
It's alleged here that you have assaulted this person and they have now provided me with enough evidence that I'm going to find probable cause that it occurred. Joe?
Your Honor, the only thing I can say is the client has vigorous defenses. And obviously, that's not the appropriate point to point out. But I don't know, was the complaining witness out on probation at this time or because she herself was under some legal.
All I know is that
Very
is
serious.
it 2 times that he pulled her hair, or was it just 1 time? It sounded like it was.
Just a one-time, Judge.
He was trying to prevent her from, she was gonna go out with the moving vehicle, was what his position was. He was trying to keep her from getting hurt, from going out of the moving vehicle.
I didn't hear anything about that.
'Cause I believe what happened is she called and reported this afterwards. They left the scene and then she called, phoned it in and reported it afterwards.
So is she trying to jump out of a moving car and he's pulling her hair to keep her in? Well, but then the witness sees them outside of the car arguing and then he pulls her hair outside of the
I
car.
heard that. I did hear that,
So
Your
the
Honor.
witness saw the defendant and the complaining witness inside the vehicle fighting. The witness tried to get the complaining witness out of the motor vehicle, and then the defendant
Picked up a new
pulled her back
case.
by her hair.
Are we supposed to be happy you're on bond for an assault and you pick up a new assault?
Yo no daría daño nunca a la persona que
Well, now is, I mean,
I would never hurt somebody that I'm with.
por favor, me refiero que le diga a su señoría. Ella es mi novia. Ella ahora mismo está en la prisión.
She's my girlfriend. She's right now in jail. He has,
Porque ella está en viciada en la droga.
she has problems. She's
Yo quiero-
drug addicted to
Yo
drugs.
quiero que ella lo
Hey,
hospitalice.
I want her to be
Yo soy la-
hospitalized.
yo soy la-
you,
The only reason that was relevant, Your Honor, if I could help him out, is that he did tell me beforehand to help the court and the system, is that she has been his girlfriend for many years. And that he has one child he supports along with his mother, who's here today. And he works as a driver and he does support them all. But she does have this problem with drugs and has this pending case. He himself suffers from depression and diabetes, but he does manage to work in order to support them all. If these are just things that maybe the court could consider, because it would be a real hardship for them to lose the income. Now, he would agree to any kind of additional controls in terms of staying away from her, but you know, maybe 200 feet away or things like that. Because she's not living with them. The child is not hers. It's from a previous relationship that he supports. But they're actually 2. One is 7 years old. One is 7 years old and the other one is 3 years old. And so we're talking some very fairly young children that's in his custody. Now, his mother has been helping maintain him. She's back there on the
The
second.
complaining witness is currently in jail. I believe in Paris County Jail. I'm
This
trying to figure
complaining
out what
witness?
for. Yes, sir. I'm just trying to figure out for what, all I see is an out-of-county charge, so maybe there was a warrant. I'm not
given
sure.
a cause number?
So it shows up kind of weird. I have like an out-of-county cost.
That's
number,
okay,
but it's-
just-
I don't know if it will show up.
Is it a 2? Is it a 3? What?
No, it's like OOC.
No, that's,
Yeah.
Huh?
¿Tú sabes dónde está el caso de
Yeah,
su
you
hija,
can look
su
up, yeah,
novia? ¿Dónde está? Diga.
0326
Oh, hold on.
0326.
0326.
8412.
Said it was Austin, Your Honor.
No, it didn't pick up. 0326 8412?
Possession
Yeah,
of
that's
substance.
No, I didn't get it.
It says that she's currently in Harris County Jail as of 11/27.
Do you have a cause or do you have a spin?
It's not, the spin number is, it's 03268412. It doesn't come up on here. 0326.
268412. That's the spin I have.
No, for me, it's not coming up. Let me try this. 3. No,
It looks like she was booked in November 28th, but that's everything. I see.
booked in what day?
November 28th.
Yeah, so what happened if they got arrested together?
That's all I see. So it's gonna be another.
Más con-
She's got,
Sí o no?
Yes.
she's got a less than a gram case wherever.
Okay.
So she must have had an open warrant for a less than a gram case as well. Mr. Tujaquez, all I asked you to do was be safe in my community. You've now picked up a new case. I'm not going to let you go. You picked up a new assault. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter where it is. We ask you to behave yourself. And when you pick up a new case, that's not a good thing. And if I let you go, that is telling you it is okay to do what you're doing. And it's not. There has to be consequence to action so that you understand we mean business. If this person is like that, then you know, or you should know,
Yes.
not to associate yourself with this type of person. Do you understand?
But please, my family depends on me.
Then this is what you think of beforehand. You don't think about this after the fact.
But I didn't do anything. I wanted to help her.
I'm not going to talk to you about the case. I'm not going to know. Now, I will tell you this, that I had already revoked your bonds and I was going to set them both at 10,002, but I won't do that. I'll entertain a bond, a lower bond with you, Joe. I mean, what do you think is appropriate? I want you to understand that I'm going to take you in because I want you to understand that public safety is my number one concern. That's it. As a courtesy for your lawyer, and because of what you're saying, I will not set it as high as I was going to, and I will entertain a lower bond. But you picked up a new assault.
Your Honor, would you consider $1,500?
Say, what do you think?
Judge, I'm just gonna argue for a general $5,000 bond. This individual was told obviously not to pick up any new cases and he picked up the exact same kind of case while on bond previously.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll split the puppy, okay? And on the new case, he's at 5,000 now on the old case. I'm gonna revoke that PR bond. I'm gonna set that one at 5,001. And then on the new case, I'll do it 3,501 as opposed to 10,002 on both of them. And that is, Joe, you know, I hope that you now understand that we mean business. And no matter what the excuse, no matter who you're with, you pick up a new case, there are consequences.
Yo le prometo que usted no me va a ver más nunca. Problema, yo nada.
Promise I won't cause you any more problems. You won't see me for something like this again.
I hope you show back up to court.
Es serio, ¿no?
Espero que
Es
sí se
serio.
presente.
Stay in contact with your
Sí,
lawyer,
claro, sí, claro.
Of course, of course.
and from now on,
De ahora en adelante,
as a part of your,
como parte,
Le pido una disculpa
don't.
porque yo el día 4 no tenía mi corte.
Tujaquez, no habla. I want you to listen. I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in this case. I do not want you to be in possession of any weapons. You are also not to have contact with the complaining witness in the first assault case. If you pick up a third case, I am telling you now, I will go absolutely bonkers on your bond. Do you understand?
of course.
The only reason I'm making the bond as low as it is now is because of Joe. Otherwise, your bond would be at 10,002. But as a courtesy, but I will have absolutely no qualms whatsoever if you pick up a third case. Who's the complaining witness in the first case?
I think he's just an employee of a business at a car dealership.
Okay, all right, goes with you. All right, okay.